Hello everyone, it is I, RadTechShoe, and I am finally back with a long overdue rad review of a game that is, without a doubt, one of the best games I've played in several years, and that is Indivisible. I will go over what I like about this game and why I think you should check it out. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Indivisible is an RPG platformer developed by Lab Zero Games and published by 505 Games. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to indie games, but Indivisible, in my opinion, has a lot going in its favor. The story is simple, yet not boring, the main characters are memorable, the music is really fun, and the mechanics are all around pretty good, pretty solid. With these factors in mind, this game turned out to be one of the best games and most pleasant surprises I've played in years. The story focuses on our main character Ajna and her quest to prevent the world from being erased from existence. The game begins as you take part in a quick fight against some weird otherworldly entity, and then you defeat it. 16 years later, you take control of the main character Ajna. Ajna is taking combat lessons from her father Inder, who she presses for answers about herself, her parents, her past, and so on and so forth. And Inder then heads off back to the village. Ajna decides to follow, but discovers that the village has been attacked, and then she finds out her father was killed by Dar, a lieutenant under the authority of Ravanavar, a powerful leader who claims to be trying to save the world. Ajna defeats her father's murderer, but then somehow absorbs him into her head, and he becomes a member of her fight party. This is a mechanic that is repeated throughout the game. Ajna finds a person, absorbs them into her head, and they travel with her. Ajna eventually confronts Ravanavar. He realizes the power and potential within her, so he lures Ajna to the top of Mount Sumeru, where he reveals that he plans to use her in order to free Kala, a goddess that will erase this world and start it over again. Ajna loses control of her powers and accidentally sets Kala free, killing Ravanavar in the process, and now has to set out and save the world from a threat that she accidentally unleashed. And now the core part of the game begins, as Ajna sets out to explore other regions and territories of the world and help the locals with their specific problems, while she also tries to become stronger in order to defeat Kala. Along the way, she will recruit a wide host of characters with different fighting styles and personalities, and you can adjust your party based on how you see fit. Not all characters fight the same, and there are different strategies for some types of enemies. You will visit and revisit areas once you learn new abilities in order to fully explore some areas, and man, are some of these maps big. Get ready for a lot of lengthy backtracking. I don't want to spoil the game too much, but you will fail in your first time to go back and fight Kala, and then you will be forced to revisit all these other locations again afterwards, but once you confront Kala and beat her on your second face-off, the game is over. So now I will sum up Indivisible as thus. It is a fun 2D platforming RPG with a good story, memorable characters, a good soundtrack, the combat is fun, the platforming can be a little tricky at times, but it's not too tough, and I personally enjoyed the aesthetic of the game. Now, the animation, however, is good in certain areas, but there are some cutscenes that are not dynamic. They're a bunch of stills, and that can kind of hurt the flow. I would have liked to see a little bit more, life and energy in some of the cutscenes, but overall, it's not too terrible. The game is well voiced, well written, the gameplay is executed effectively, there are some very enjoyable character moments, and the music is really addictive at times. The biggest drawback, I would say, is the backtracking. There's no fast travel inside a level. Like, you can go from one territory to a next real fast with a chakra gate, but once you're in these levels, there's no fast travel in it. You literally have to hoof it and walk the entire way to get to wherever you need to go. There's no fast travel between checkpoints or save points or anything like that. So that's the biggest drawback. It's a little annoying later on in the game, but I don't think it ruins the game at all. Anyway, overall, this game earns a solid 9 out of 10 in my opinion. It's a strong contender for the best 2D game I've ever played in my life, and that's not a remark I give away lightly. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review of Indivisible. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like and share it if you think it deserves it. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Also subscribe and stay in touch for more content. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth look at Ajna specifically as a character and why I like her so much, and what I think that she could be a good role model for the concept of a strong female character, since that definitely seems to be a theme or a trope that people are trying to actively go for nowadays, and why I think people can learn something from Indivisible in terms of how to create a strong female protagonist. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time or in any future video of mine. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.